Welcome to the MetaOne Coin Report, exploring the world of private digital currency through the eyes of human rights and empowerment of humanity. Here's the host of the MetaOne Coin Report, Leanne Carroll.
The battles for freedom. The presidential election of 2020 was unlike any other in the nation's history. This is true on many levels. The most profound difference is it was the first time non-military mail-in voting was permitted on a widespread scale, without the usual stated qualifications that require special approval in advance, according to each state's voting regulations. For this year's elections, states made it easier to vote by mail to avoid in-person crowds. The subject of mail-in ballots and the potential for fraud has been a heavy topic of discussion in news outlets since the spring of this year. Today, there are many reports of election fraud that don't seem to be making it to the top of the leading news articles. It's as if the media has called the election with no further discussion required. The president has the right to legally challenge the validity of the stated outcomes via widespread mail-in voting. Many questions were raised by testimony via legally valid, signed affidavits regarding potential substantial voter fraud. These types of documents are normally accepted by courts as valid evidence in a wide range of legal cases. Curiously, lower courts have decided to consistently dismiss these cases, even though the president's legal team has provided legal, valid, standard evidence that courts normally accept and consider as evidence in other cases. One would think the courts would allow lawful evidence brought forth to be heard. This could possibly lead to considerations such as ordering a mail-in ballot audit. An audit would easily dismantle voting fraud by validating the identities of mail-in ballots and validating the dates the ballots were received, at least in swing states, to ensure they are living, legal, valid votes. A hand recount could also ensure all legal votes were counted and received by Election Day. The presidential candidates would then have no choice but to accept the results of these efforts, regardless of the outcome. Setting aside the idea of Republicans and Democrats, wouldn't it make sense, if this were a fair and just election, that these steps would be taking place? Could it be these courts are simply inconsistent with their evaluation of evidence? Or could it be a bias against the president? Could there be a bias even with seasoned judges who are not willing or possibly unable to move past their bias and judge objectively? Does it seem plausible that the court should at least be willing to hear the cases that President Trump's legal team presents and possibly consider an audit and hand recount in swing states? Audit and recount process would take time and increase expenses, but it would help resolve any lingering questions and help unite the country behind the newly elected president. Unless, of course, unity is not a desired outcome. One has to ask, how many layers of fraud are really happening here? The media narrative during the ongoing election-related litigation has been highly incongruent with the legal reality. The mainstream media continues to refer to Joe Biden as president-elect, while the legal process has not yet been completed. According to law, no one should be referred to as the president-elect until the Electoral College votes and certifies their votes. This year, that date is December 14th. The deadline for states to complete vote certification is December 8th. The media declared Joe Biden the winner on November 4th. At no other time in history, and nowhere in the Constitution does it state that the media companies have authority to declare winners of elections, especially not presidential elections. It is a demonstration how the mainstream media and the courts are intertwined. One must always question what one hears versus accepting everything you hear from media outlets in all of its forms as factual. In actuality, we are witnessing a massive political human rights violation. President Trump and MetaOne Coin Trust have something in common. They have both been dismissed by biased judges, and both have experienced unfair treatment by the legal system and defamation by the media. Despite these challenges, both President Trump and MetaOne Coin Trust continue to defend their legal rights towards justice and fair treatment by the courts. Could it be that the media, courts, and even the banking systems are possibly working in tandem with each other to lead humanity toward a desired end? MetaOne has worked tirelessly to utilize legal instruments and superior jurisdictions as a solution to the biased judges in state and federal courts that refuse to uphold an objective approach to ruling on cases. MetaOne is working hard for the rights of MetaOne Coin, the rights of the entire freedom movement, cryptocurrency communities, and for the rights and abundance of humanity. They are working for the ability to trade freely without government interference and the ability to pursue one's happiness unencumbered. These ideals are worth striving for, and they're the primary reason why MetaOne Coin Trust was founded. MetaOne Coin is a strong advocate for private exchanges and private jurisdiction. A private exchange is not registered with any government agency, like the SEC, since it isn't legally required. Furthermore, cryptocurrency is not inherently a security, as the SEC chairman, Jay Clayton, has stated on numerous occasions. There is no law that compels this registration. There is no law that authorizes further government encroachment into private transactions in a free market, capitalistic economy. Government agencies may try to exert their jurisdiction and attempt to expand their control, but it is up to individuals and businesses to resist these unlawful attempts. This is true today more than at any other time. Central banks and the global monetary system are working diligently to bring forth a new system of digital currency. This new system will be highly monitored, highly controlled, with no privacy, no honor, and limited freedom of transaction. This new system is being referred to as Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC. You will hear and see these four letters everywhere very soon. MetaOne Coin Trust operates outside of these entities who are attempting to gain minute-to-minute absolute control over your monetary transactions. MetaOne Coin Trust operates in a superior jurisdiction, and therefore does not acknowledge any contract attempts by governments, three-letter agencies, or central bank entities that attempt to exert jurisdiction. MetaOne is not about more of the same. It's an entire social and financial evolution. MetaOne is a private coin and trades on a private exchange. It's important to understand what this means and how it's different from a public coin and a public exchange. Now more than ever, the timing for this profound shift in consciousness and freedom for the individual is an endeavor we must embark upon. Is humanity ready for a sovereign, private exchange outside of government control? An exchange that is worldwide, honorable, empowering, using currency you actually own, that has real value, backed by gold, supreme self-governance, regulated by smart contracts that disallow deflation and inflation, fully transparent, supreme jurisdiction, protected from the eyes and the hands of the state, and fully protected as individuals, abundant and free. Are people ready to take their power back? MetaOne Coin Trust is a private, unincorporated trust that offers that very opportunity. It is established by creditors, not debtors. It is non-statutory, which means the state did not issue the trust, nor does it have jurisdiction and or possession of the trust and or any holdings of the trust. What humanity is missing is equity in the legal system and in commerce. Through the birth certificate and social security number, they are established as fictional characters, as debtors, not creditors. They lack honor and equity in law, in commerce. The process to discharge this status is called Secured Party Creditor, or SPC. This process unencumbers you from the state and its jurisdiction. MetaOne has simplified this process and offers extensive education and full filing capability through their MetaOne Trust and soon to launch universal law websites. This is profound and groundbreaking. MetaOne Coin Trust is established by secured parties. When creditors, not debtors, establish a private trust, this includes all the founding members of the trust. Trustees are also creditors, not encumbered by the state. The trust, therefore, is not encumbered by the state and outside of the state's jurisdiction. A creditor has equity and honor in the legal system and in commerce. Therefore, the trust has equity and honor in the legal system and in commerce. MetaOne Coin Trust is not encumbered, which means it's not in contract with the state, government, or any legal entity. Again, the founders and the trustees are creditors, not legal fiction, not a debtor, and not encumbered by the state. So the trust they establish operates with the same status. MetaOne coin holders also hold the same status once they become established. The structure and legal positioning are extremely profound and form the foundation for a proper, published, sovereign coin and private exchange. In terms of adoption and recognition, 2020 has been a big year for cryptocurrencies. Crypto across the board has made significant gains. A recent study showed that the younger generation is open and ready to buy crypto. Younger generations, say 40-ish and below, grew up in the age of the internet. They are used to on-demand services and using their smartphones. They have new investment habits and styles and goals, and their needs have changed significantly from past generations. A major part of this population is finding digital currencies appealing. They are shaping the future of financial planning and service. They have a different take on conducting transactions, saving, and money management. They prefer easy, seamless, and fast approaches, and they know that cryptocurrency is the next frontier in opportunity. They are correct, and this generation is about to inherit more than $60 trillion in the next 3 decades. They are also expected to quintuple their wealth by 2030, according to current figures. This means we have a group of smart people with increasing incomes and growing wealth who also know how they want to manage their money. The younger generation is buying, investing, and exchanging in cryptocurrency. This shows that crypto is not just a bubble waiting to pop. In the next few years, we can expect significant growth and interest in cryptocurrencies. Trading cryptocurrency is a big part of the Meta Exchange. All cryptocurrencies and more can be traded on the Meta Exchange. It has been said it is such a pleasure to trade on the exchange. Those who use it will never go back to bank systems. Will the established central banking system, with their version of digital currencies, be able to exist alongside or be able to compete with cryptocurrencies and crypto exchanges? Could this be the defining factor for ongoing unlawful actions toward cryptocurrencies, their founders, and their exchanges? We are witnessing major transitions in today's financial and political climate. The battle for mindshare and monetary control of this generation and their wealth potential is on, and in full force. The current events rapidly unfolding today and their connection to the level of freedom all generations will experience within their lifetime is the battleground, and the reason MetaOne was founded. Will we desire or be willing to take the steps to move forward toward greater freedom, growth, and abundance? If so, MetaOne is leading the way, deploying the systems, providing extensive education, and the architecture for freedom, abundance, honor, and empowerment. To understand more or possibly join the movement, please visit metaone.io. Read the white paper and look around. Find interesting articles on our MetaOneCoinReport.com website. Please give this podcast a like. Please comment with your questions or insights. We always look forward to what you have to say. And please share. And until next time, live freely and live abundantly.